Hey there everyone! Time for the third round battle of the SGC 2014 Pokemon Tournament. My opponent this time is Logan. And he leads off with a Cloyster. So many Cloysters I face in the tournament. This is like the second one, I think. There will be many more to come. Anyway, I lead off with Cobalion, get a Volt Switch off. Try and do as much damage to the Cloyster as I possibly can. And bring an Avalugg because it's pretty obvious what the Cloyster is going to do. Exactly. That. Now this ought to be a good little challenge for Avalugg here. Can he stand up to a Cloyster, firing off a +2 Rock Blast? Let's see, shall we? That's 1. And 2. Oh, this is going to be easy. 3. 4. And 5. Okay. Could have been a bit better, but he stood up to it quite nicely. Go ahead and try and find something else that's weak to rock and can take a +2 5-hit Rock Blast from a Cloyster. Don't think you'll find anything. Anyway, Earthquake for the KO. Cloyster dealt with. Brings in Chandelure. Obviously going to get Avalugg out of there. He's too valuable to give up already. Bring in Snorlax. Ghost Trapper. Thick Fat. Doesn't give a crap about fire moves. Let's see what that does. Absolutely nothing. 14 damage. And he switches. Obvious Pursuit is obvious. At least for me, he didn't see it coming at all. I'm quite surprised the Chandelure survived that though. Anyway, he brings out the Gliscor. Ugh, so many Gliscors I've faced as well. I hate fighting Gliscor. That's one of those Pokemon that is always a pain in the ass. Anyway, being an Avalugg, he goes for knockoff, though no more leftovers for me. It's a bit of a bummer. Still have Recover, not really the worst thing in the world though. Brings out Gliscor, gets Sylveon in there. Okay, go for an Avalanche. I was hoping he would keep the Gliscor in there, because the Avalanche would have wrecked that thing. But the Sylveon doesn't take that much damage. Gotta get Avalugg out of there, because he's not gonna like a fairy move, a special one. Bring Snorlax in, because he's the special wall on this team after all. As he starts setting up the Calm Minds. Oh dear. Probably want to go ahead and put a stop to this as soon as I can. Don't want to let the Sylveon get too many Calm Minds up. Because I fought some Calm Mind Sylveons before, and if they get some Calm Minds up and they have Draining Kiss, they're pretty hard to deal with. Anyway, he goes for Protect, for leftovers, recovery, and just probably presuming to see if Snorlax was going to go for Heavy Slam or something. Honestly, I've never seen a single Pokemon use Heavy Slam ever, so I wouldn't really say it's a rational fear. But still, it never hurts to scout out a little. Go for Body Slam. Does a decent amount of damage. No paralysis though, that's a bit of a bummer. Because I would absolutely love to get paralysis on this thing right about now. Because he just keeps on stalling. Oh, this is going to be one of those battles, isn't it? Stalling Sylveon, stalling Gliscor. Oh, it's going to be fun on a bun. As he goes and sets up a Wish. And then the Body Slam is probably going to wreck him. Up to the point where he is going to need that Wish to stay alive. Or not, that Body Slam did surprisingly little. Maybe the damage roll, which is not in my favor. Anyway, obvious Protect is obvious, so get out of there Snorlax, bring in Cobalion. Because this is quite clearly not the way to go. So I figure, I gotta get this thing poisoned. That'll put a stop to his walling and or Calm Minding pretty damn quickly. Sadly, he goes for Protect again because the Protect failed because of the switch, so the surprise, the gig is up. Toxic's no longer surprised, but he stays in anyway. I don't know, maybe he has a Heal Bell or something, maybe that's why he doesn't care. As he goes for the Draining Kiss, after a couple Calm Minds, does about half. I think, thanks to the leftovers, I can probably take another one of those. And I'm actually assuming that he's going to go for Protect again here. Oh, okay. Maybe not. But I had to set up the Stealth Rocks anyway. Never hurts to have them up. And I can tank a Draining Kiss anyway. Yep, almost killed me. Not quite, though. Cobalion has the nasty tendency of hanging in there whenever he takes a hit that almost kills him. Anyway, he takes a little bit of poison damage, it's slowly accumulating. And now we better get Cobalion out of there. He might still come in handy at some point, so Volt Switch out. Back out into Snorlax. Because Snorlax can tank those draining kisses, although he does recover a fair amount of health from them. It's not like I really have much of a choice though, because Manectric, Greninja, and Salamence will not stand up to those draining kisses nearly as well as Snorlax will. So I'll just have to suck it up, I guess. Poison damage is once again building up, and then he switches out all of a sudden. Not entirely sure why, but he brings in Gliscor, probably hoping that it can tank Snorlax's attacks a bit better and hopefully get the knockoff. I'm guessing he really wants to get the Assault Vest off of my Snorlax. Although I don't think he knew that Snorlax had an Assault Vest. Anyway, I'm getting Snorlax out of there. Bring in Cobalion again. Because, yeah, I'm not really sure why. I was expecting like an Earthquake or something, just bring Cobalion in as fodder. But instead he sets up a substitute. As I get a little bit of health back, and he gets a bit of health back. What were they thinking when they gave Gliscor Poison Heal? They made it too damn good. Anyway, he has Knockoff, Protect, and Substitute, and then some other move that he hasn't shown off yet. I'm fine with the Protect, I mean, I just keep recovering. So does he. No one's really gaining anything from this. But whatever, Sacred Sword have to break the sub somehow. Because if I can just break the sub before he takes me out, I can bring Greninja in and Ice Beam the crap out of that thing. Anyway, the knockoff does virtually nothing. Boosts my attack because of Justified. The leftovers loss is a little bit of a bummer, because now I won't be able to heal off all the knockoff damage, because that did nothing. Anyway, another Sacred Sword, and of course I get a critical hit while the substitute is still up. That was a bit of a bummer. He goes for Toxic. I can explain that. He told me immediately after that happened, he thought that Cobalion was a water and fighting type. Because he was not familiar with Cobalion at all, and he thought it was a water type because it's blue. It's not exactly the most solid reasoning, but I suppose if you're not familiar with the Pokemon at all and you kinda look at its color to determine its type, I guess blue would lead you to water most of the time. And it's not like I used any steel moves or something to suggest him that it is a steel type. I mean, he figured out it's a fighting type because I kept using Sacred Sword and because the knockoff didn't work. Because it was resisted. Anyway, he switches it out, brings in the Chandelure, which takes a bit of Stealth Rock damage, and then Volt Switch kills it off nicely. So that's another potential problem dealt with. Cobalion is somehow still in the game. He's lasting way longer than I thought he would. Bring in Manectric. Seems now is a pretty decent time for that, as he brings in his Dragonite. Oh, you made a mistake, buddy. That is not gonna last against my Manectric. Mega Evolve, get a bit of extra power, and the Intimidate, which is always helpful against Dragonite, because Dragonite is mainly a physical attacker after all, as he goes for the extreme speed. And the Intimidate probably... actually, I don't really know if that one mattered or not. I think even without the Intimidate, I would have still been able to survive that, as I go for Hidden Power Ice and just destroy the Dragonite. And then he brings the Sylveon out again. Oh boy, not this thing again. Gotta get Mega Manectric out of there though. He goes for Protect. I'm not entirely sure what he hopes to achieve by that. Yes, he gets a little bit of leftovers recovery, but he's also poisoned. So pretty much he's just forcing one more turn, allowing the poison to become even stronger. Well, whatever, it's in my favor, so who am I to complain about it? Volt Switch, get Mega Manectric out of there. Straight back into Snorlax, because Snorlax can wall this thing all day long. Well, not all day long, but at least for quite a long time, especially now that he's back to +0. I mean, he had quite a few Calm Minds under his belt earlier. Now he has to start from scratch. And I don't think it's going to work out that well for him anymore. especially because he's now poisoned. Quite a few turns of poison under his belt already. So he's not going to be able to set up Calm Minds nearly as easily as before. Goes for another Draining Kiss. Does about... that's a critical hit. It did about 24 points of damage, I believe. That's not much. So Body Slam, gonna keep the damage piling up. And I think he may actually be dying from poison now. Is it gonna be enough? Yes, it is. Awesome. Sylveon dealt with. Now Salamence can probably come in and start Draco Meteoring all over the place. Oh, of course not, he still has a Mawile. Intimidate's kind of unfortunate on Snorlax. Oh well, of course it's a Mega Mawile, because who in their right mind would use a regular Mawile? Even with the new Fairy typing and everything, regular Mawile still sucks ass. Goes for the Swords Dance. Might be in a bit of a situation here if I don't do anything about this quickly. Go for an Earthquake, most powerful thing I can do. Could have perhaps gone for Body Slam, hope for Paralysis. But that would have done next to nothing, and the Paralysis wasn't even 100% guaranteed. And then he destroys me with Sucker Punch. Don't know why he didn't go for another move, because pretty sure Mega Mawile is faster than Snorlax. Hell, it's not hard to be faster than Snorlax. Like 99% of all Pokemon are faster than Snorlax. Anyway, go for Salamence, the Intimidate, and he still wanted KOs me with Sucker Punch. Bloody hell, that thing's powerful. Probably need to get me one of those. Anyway, bring Mega Manectric in, get another Intimidate to get him right back down to 0. So he goes for Sucker Punch again. And takes out Mega Manectric. Jeez. And that's at +0. Okay, Avalugg, it's all up to you now. Pretty sure he can stand up to a Fire Fang, which misses. Why the hell would he go for Fire Fang? Doesn't Mawile get Fire Punch through tutoring or something? And also, why the hell would you go for Fire Fang over Iron Head against an Ice type? Not entirely sure I get that logic. Whatever. Brings in the Gliscor again. I believe this is his last Pokemon. As he Toxics Avalugg, I don't really care at this point, because I can get a free Avalanche in. I was actually more expecting him to go for Substitute or something. For some reason he didn't. And that Avalanche did a crap ton of damage. And that was just the 60 BP version. Because it only doubles in power if he actually attacks me, and Toxic does not count as an actual attack. So Protect, he just goes to try and stall me. I kind of figured he was going to Protect, so I recovered. Yeah, guess what? You can stall, I can stall as well. So suck it up. And my recoverability is way better than his. So he's going to go for Knockoff now, trying to get the leftovers off. But it's not going to matter anymore because Avalanche is going to bury that Gliscor and end the battle in my favor again. So there we go. Good battle, Logan. Third round victory is also mine. Moving on to the quarterfinals next. So made it pretty far in the competition already. Bye-bye.